Hi, and welcome back to Inspired Alchemy with Lizzie. This is episode 35, and it might actually be a little bit of a heavy one. Where do I start? So, what I'm going to start with is that the past couple of weeks, I have had so many realizations, and I've had hard conversations, and I've realized a lot about myself, a lot about others, and I'm going to try not to get emotional here. I've done my crying for today, a lot of it. Um, And I mean, crying is cathartic. It is a way to release emotion. It is a way to just let go of what's no longer serving you, things that you've been shoving down, speaking truths that are really hard to vocalize, and doing that within safe space. So, as weird as this sounds, it's going to be this episode is about love. It's about the human condition and how we have the capacity to love and how deeply we can love as long as we're willing to meet ourselves in the same place. I've had to look at myself in the mirror very deeply recently, and I'm seeing myself as who I am within the mirrors of other people. And it's been challenging. It's always hard to face yourself. It's always hard to say, yeah, I've been messing up. This is where I'm messing up. This is where I have messed up. And it's something that takes a little while to process, and you have to be able to release your emotions. And I'm going to go back a little bit to when I was a teenager. Oh, till I was a kid. I've always loved very deeply. I've always felt very deeply. I've always been a very passionate person, and it used to get me into trouble because people would say, "Why are you like this? You're too much. Why do you feel so deeply? Why are you so emotional? Why are you so sensitive?" All of these things. And I feel to the depths that I can't explain. Sometimes I don't even have words for the depth of which I'm feeling. And so that made me start to think that there's something wrong with me. It's like, okay, what's wrong with me? Everybody thinks that this is a lot. And as I am finding my pieces that have been hidden for a long time, I am starting to realize that maybe my depth for being able to love and care for other people is not necessarily a bad thing. It is what keeps me grounded. And yeah, sometimes that comes along with pain. But there's also so much beauty in it. To be able to love so deeply and to feel gratitude for life and to feel just unconditionally love for others. I've realized, and this is going to be very vulnerable for me to talk about, and I don't even know how I'm actually going to get through it, but I've realized that for a long time, I had shut off that vulnerability piece. I had shut off that intimacy piece. And I'm not just talking about intimacy in terms of what you do in your bedroom. I'm talking about intimacy, allowing people to fully see you in all that you are, in all your authenticity. That's scary. No matter how well you know the person, it can be really scary. And I get it. That fear of being seen has allowed me to continue this cycle of, and it's not even so much being seen, because I'm getting better with that. I'm getting better with intimacy. I'm getting better with saying, hey, this is who I am, right? It's part of my journey. But there was once a time where I would go to functions and people would ask me things about me. And then I would change the subject and be, hey, tell me about you. And yes, because I really am genuinely curious about other people and what they've been through, but part of it was also me shutting down. And even when I think that I'm being vulnerable, and even when I think that I am getting better at intimacy, something happens and it shows me how much I've still been holding back because of that fear of being too much. And also, when you have that fear of being too much, your abandonment wounds come out. And it's like, I want to love people so deeply and I want them to feel it. And I want them to feel that they matter. And I want them to feel all of these things. But then it becomes too much for people. And then they run and they leave. I get really passionate and I get really excited about things. And then that becomes too much. And so I learned how to build walls. It's part of my core wound of being unwanted and the partial core wound of being unlovable. I build these walls. And I realized this. And so in the past year, I would say, I've learned, a year, 2 years, I've learned to kind of bring down those walls and be like, yo, it's okay. You can let these people in. And because I've done that, I've met some really amazing people. All the people that I wanted to be in my life, the way that I wanted to be seen, the the way I wanted people to hold space for me. All of that stuff I had to find within myself first. I had to be that love for myself. I had to hold that space for myself. And something beautiful happens when you do that. People start to come into your life that will actually be there with you and for you and hold your hand and move your hair away from your face while you're crying and just let you be and let you just be in what you are feeling without trying to fix you. And it's actually very beautiful. And right now, I'm actually going to read you something that I wrote, and it's just notes, but I feel like it's necessary. And while I was writing it, I felt I have to share this because I know a lot of us are scared to reach out. We're scared of who we are. And it's much easier for us to hate ourselves and hate other people and then reach out and love. But I'm telling you right now, love is the strongest thing that you can do. It might not be easy to open up, but loving yourself and showing others that you love them is super powerful and it's super beautiful. So this might not be coherent because it is something, like I said, that I wrote, just trying to make notes about what I wanted to share. And so here goes. I feel like something's wrong with me. I've had to look hard in the mirror. In the mirror, I saw the fear of vulnerability, the fear of intimacy, the fear of being seen and being loved for who I am at my core. It's scary to fully be accepted for who I am and loved there. I'm scared of being left alone, abandoned, when I become too much. I've pushed away connections in the past in order to stay safe. Staying in a place you don't belong is self-sabotage, and it's not helpful. The walls I've built are slowly crumbling, and as I fully remove my armor, I take a look around at the rubble of my walls, and I watch as the light falls over the shadows where I once hid. I lay down my helmet and my shield, and I allow myself to feel love, to be loved, and to feel where I'm at. Even if it's too much, I allow myself to be in the passion that burns within me. And that's where I kind of stopped. And I started to actually just make notes. I started to make notes to kind of gather my thoughts, because this has been a really heavy one for me. And I've realized in the past that people have said that they loved me, but they actually love the idea of me. And then when they get around me, obviously I've talked about it, I become too much. Whether it's my energy, whether it's whatever it is, right? And so I'm allowing those walls to crumble, and I'm letting people in. And like I said in that piece that I wrote, it's scary. And I'm going to try to say this in the best way possible, but it's heavy processing time for me right now. And I'm not going to even lie about it. I'm here to be real with you guys, for you guys, so that you can see what this is in real time. I'm not going to come on here polished and pretend that I know everything that's going on, because I don't. I'm human just like everybody else. And so I think what was more scarier, was not being seen. It was actually being seen and accepted in who I was at that moment, and loved for who I am in that moment. That's what scared me the most. Not the fact that I was going to be too much. It's, what did it mean when I was too much and yet people stayed? That was the scary part. And I saw today, I saw someone speaking that, I believe her name is Jocelyn Silva, and she is an intimacy coach. I only saw one reel from her, but what she said aligned with what I am feeling. And it's, relentless authenticity is the core of intimacy with self and with others. So being relentlessly authentic is scary, because you're opening yourself up. You're allowing yourself to say, here, I am, accept me in everything that I am, and still love me. And that's scary. It's easy for people to run. It's not easy to stay. And while I am being as authentic as I can in this moment, I am the same at my core. I am who I have always been. I just evolve and grow. And I believe it's the same for everybody. Our core stays the same of who we are. And then whatever happens after that, we evolve and grow from that core, and we become better. And I'm just sharing with you a lot of things that I saw today that were kind of showing me that I was aligned in my what I'm going through, and inspired me. This is a lot of inspiration, a lot of love. And while this feels very heavy, it's actually coming from a deep part of myself that just feels so much love for everything. And so I'm going to share this. And I don't know where I saw it, but I saw it, and I should have written it down. So this is not mine. I just want you to know that. It says, I don't follow the path, because I am the path. I am breath, blood, and bone. And to me, that was extremely powerful, because we talk about the path a lot. And it's not that we are following anything. I mean, our intuition, yes, and all of that. But at the same time, we are the path. We are forging our own way. And what I've had to learn is, for a long time, before I started this journey, I had this whole mindset of, why? Like, why is this all happening? And I used to think it was happening to me, but it's happening for me. And I know that. And I know that might be hard for a lot of people who are having a really hard time and on the journey. But I know that good, bad, beautiful, ugly, whatever it is, has happened for me, not to me. And like I've said, I've been through, not as much as some people, but I've been through some stuff. And for me to be able to say that, if I can do it, you can do it. So something I learned was nobody's coming to save you. They'll hold up mirrors until their arms get tired, but they won't save you. That's your job. This is the path of self love. This is the path to becoming whole. This is the path back home. Love starts and ends with you. How you choose to sustain that love internally and within your relationships is entirely up to you. And in a world where it's easier for people to just show their anger and hatred, why not be the love? But it starts at home within you first. It starts with you choosing yourself, with you having hard conversations. It starts with you saying, I deserve more. Or maybe it's the people around me deserve more, right? And I don't mean that in like, I'm hoping you understand what I mean when I say that. For example, my daughter deserves to have a mom that doesn't suppress herself, that doesn't hide, that shows up authentically. And when I can do that, I can show my daughter she can do the same. And it gives her the space to be able to do that because she doesn't need to filter for me anymore. And I've said this before in other episodes. But like I said, in a world where everybody thinks that they're broken, where everybody can post their disdain, why not be the love? Start with yourself. Love yourself. Everything that you are looking for in everybody else has to come from within first. And that's a really hard thing to learn, especially when you don't have any self-worth, and especially when you don't have confidence, and especially when you've been unwanted and unloved your entire life, or you've felt defective. It's a really hard place to start. But I was also told a long time ago that you cannot expect to love anybody else the way that they want to be loved unless you can love yourself in the same way or how you want to be loved. So again, for like the 5,000th time, love comes from within first. Your happiness comes from within first, not from external sources, not from external validation. It has to start at home, inside your body, regulating your nervous system and finding your pieces and finding out who you really are. Who are you at your core? Who are you in your essence? Not what you do for a living, not where you live, not the house you live in, not the car you drive. Who is the essence of you? And I think that's what I'm going to leave you with. I probably have, this could be a couple part, maybe I'll continue it on Friday, but this is me again in active processing. This is me working through all of the things and doing it out loud so that maybe, just maybe, it'll help one person so they don't feel alone. Because you're not alone in this. And while you also might feel broken, that's the farthest from the truth. You're just hiding. It's time to love you. It's time to love yourself. It's time to pour into you. And what's best for you might be what's best for everybody. And while that might not make sense, I've seen it time and time again. When I love myself, my daughter loves herself more. The more I pour into myself, the more I can pour into other people. And that is my passion, is helping others find their magic, finding their freedom, whatever that means for them. And you're not broken. You're just unbecoming and then becoming everything you're meant to be. Again, I know this was a bit of a heavy one. It has been a very heavy couple of weeks for me, and this is some heavy processing, especially today. I thank you for being here. I thank you for being with me. I know that time is a precious resource and we cannot get it back. And I like to say this on every episode because to those of you listening, I appreciate your support. And to anybody who needs it right now, I'm sending out love. I hope you can feel it. Keep creating alchemy. Keep going. I promise you, there is hope. There is a light. There is a light in the dark. And that's what this is. This is inspired perpetual alchemy. Constant inspiration and perpetual alchemy. And until next time, thank you for your support. And if you need anything, please reach out. We have the Inspired Alchemy Collective. Yeah, and sending love to everybody.